Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What's up, everybody? This is Big Herc from Fresh Out, and you're tuned in to another episode of Prison Talk. If you haven't checked out our website, please do so. It's www.FreshOutSeries.com. We got a lot of cool stuff on there. You got Big Herc's prison book list. We're going to have Big Herc's fashion on there. A lot of cool shit. If you got questions, hit us up at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. Also, subscribe to our channel, man. Tell your people to subscribe. A lot of you guys watch. Hit the subscribe button, man. Support. Also, check out our Patreon, our Twitter, and our Instagram, which is FreshOutSeries. Had a question from one of our viewers. Hey, Big Herc. I love the channel and all you and your crew do. I find you to be an intelligent and well-spoken guy and like how you don't glorify prison or prison culture and feel you give great advice. I have two different questions and would love it if you answer them on YouTube. Do you feel you deserve the prison sentence you received for your crime? How would you change prison to make it where more people are rehabilitated and the percentage of people returning to prison would be lower? And how would you change prison in general to make it more effective for everyone involved on both sides of the bars? Thanks for your time. Keep up the great work. No, I don't think I deserved 120 months. I think that was some bullshit. You know, the prison system, you know, they got a point system in play. They got a way they like to structure things, you know, but I had learned my lesson after I got arrested. You know, you could have let me out and I wouldn't have robbed another bank, but it doesn't work like that. So it is what it is, but I'm not going to cry a bitch about it, but I don't think I deserve the time. That's my personal opinion. You know, you got a lot of people who are going to be mad at that or hate, but I wasn't in there feeling like, you know, I should have been a sacrificial lamb. I felt that I made a choice. It wasn't maybe the smartest choice. I got caught, and while I was in there, I bettered myself. But, you know, you got a lot of people who go into prison and they don't learn from the first bank robbery. They get out and do another one. And then if they, you know, if they get caught and maybe don't, you know, get that much time, they get out and do another one. They be grandpas doing bank robberies, you know. So those are some stupid motherfuckers right there, you know. I don't know what to really say about their sentences, but I can only speak how I feel about, or how I felt about mine. Now, those guys, you got guys who basically are career criminal mentalities. They are guys who aren't looking to really do anything to better themselves. They watch TV all day, or they play chess, or they just hang out, gossip about crimes they committed that they didn't get caught for. And they embrace that whole prison culture. Those guys are institutionalized. Prison doesn't bother them. Eating in the chow hall is normal. You know, stealing food from the kitchen is normal. You know, living in a bathroom is normal. You know, these guys have acclimated to that environment to the point where even if they had freedom, if they could risk that freedom to do another crime and go back to that bathroom, they would have no problem doing it. Me, that's not me. I'm not with that mentality, you know, and I avoided people like that. So I didn't do a lot of talking about crimes I committed in the past, glorifying them. I didn't try to embellish that whole, you know, lifestyle. I did a lot of dirt, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm no fucking angel or anything like that. And a lot of things I did, maybe I didn't get caught for. But at the same time, it's not like I knew that the mentality that it took to rehabilitate myself, it started with the way I perceived myself. So I made a choice not to talk about things that I did in the past so that I didn't feed off of that. Because it's all energy. You know, if you talk about whooping motherfuckers' ass, selling dope, you know what I'm saying, robbing motherfuckers, then you take on that mentality. So when the opportunity presents itself, you don't hesitate to act on it. But once you condition yourself to not entertain that, and you entertain legitimate stuff, things that are more of a positive nature, opportunity presents itself for that, and you take advantage of that. So rehabilitation is not about being locked in a cell, 23-1, no fucking, human interaction. That's just creating an animal. You're creating a motherfucking monster. Prison is not about rehabilitation. It's about motherfucking just basically housing motherfuckers to work for a corporation to support an industry. As far as them saying, oh, prison, they're not doing shit in there. The guards come in there, they walk around, shake down cells. They don't treat you like a human being. You're treated like a number. You're in there and you're considered a piece of shit because you did a crime. It's a fucked up human interaction. Other guys that are in there feel that you're in there like they're in there, so they think that you should just do your time like they're doing their time. And it's just the whole balance of how things work in there is unhuman, So as far as like how I would change the prison is, for one, most people that work there just to collect a paycheck. They're not there because they're trying to do any type of humanitarian work. It's not that type of environment. So if you wanted to change prison, you would have to create maybe multiple programs where you had people who actually, maybe college students taking criminology or something like that went to a particular place where guys were transitioned or housed into, that had the opportunity to change, could do something positive, create work-related programs, entrepreneurial programs, things that allow these people who are already, if they're in the feds, somewhat entrepreneurial because they were hustling, that they could take those skills and do some positive with it. And by doing positive, I mean that there's inmates in there who are teaching real estate classes, stock investment classes, business classes on how to run financial operations. If those guys could take those skills and apply those skills and teach kids, youth in some of these impoverished communities and give back, I think all that should go credited towards these guys getting out early. You can create programs where these guys who are doing criminal stuff can flip it and say, hey man, if you do this and this, you don't have to be a criminal, but you can turn it into positive. And because these guys have been in the system, I think that a lot of the teens and youth out there will look up to these guys and they would have a bigger impact on society. But the thing is, a lot of times when you get out of prison, people think that you should just be beat down. You shouldn't be an entrepreneur. You shouldn't want to be your own boss. You should be happy to be working at a fucking warehouse job or driving a truck or just be a 9-to-5er. When I advocate, hey man, get your barber's course in there, or get your personal trainer's license. If you can work and do welding, get your welding certificates, or get your contractor's license. If they have anything to do with any type of construction in there, get you a skill that will allow you to be self-employable, so that you don't have to worry about the humiliation of somebody telling you you're fucking late, you're fired, blah, blah, blah. You want to be able to control your destiny. So rehabilitation, you have to create some type of self-worth within these individuals and allow them an opportunity to somehow boss up and maybe pass those skills down to other people, so that these people could also transition from the criminal world into the legit world. Also, as far as like, you got guys in there, all they want to do is gangbang. You got dudes in there, they want to get high every day, gangbang, drink Pruno. Let them go to a spot where they can just do that. You want to be an ignorant motherfucker, run around, do dumb shit. Hey man, put you with a bunch of other dumb motherfuckers and let it just be a motherfucking a zoo. But not everybody wants to do that. You got people who are actually in there and they realize they've made a mistake and they want to do something better for themselves. They shouldn't have to sit in there for 30 years to learn that lesson. I mean, fuck man, 20 years, you never got caught with dope. 15 years for a bank robbery and you didn't get no fucking money. I mean, it comes to a point where you realize what you've done, and if you can show that, you should be given an opportunity to get out. If you fuck up, then you go back and finish your sentence. But if you could get out and be successful and be a role model, I think that's more important than having a person sit in jail for 20, 30 years, and the law of diminishing return basically makes that person unavailable, unrehabilitatable, because he can't be rehabilitated after 30 years. He's just basically either institutionalized or broken. I think that would be a better situation for these guys that are just sitting in there doing nothing, man. It's not doing any good for people to be in there past a point where they've already learned their lesson. Either you're going to learn it or you're not going to learn it.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.